All right, guys. Ask a Felon back with another one for you. I'm gonna go down some questions. I got some really good questions in here today, but hit that subscribe button, please. That being said, let's get the first one. What scares you more, losing your freedom or losing the person you've become? Well, the person I've become is just who I am. That's just me without being on drugs. And actually, I like the person I am when I'm sober because I'm really a good guy. Like I'm probably perfectly balanced in life and thinking more than I've ever been. So I'd say probably losing my freedom because the only thing that's gonna change the person I've become is drugs, and I've been clean long enough to know I'm not gonna go back to them. I've been down and out since I've gotten clean, and I didn't fall right back into the drugs. So I think I'm pretty strong and strong enough to where I'll stay away from them, especially when I know the things I've done on them. It just makes you regret it. So I'd have to say the answer to that would be more worried about losing my freedom than I would myself, because the person I've become is just a normal me, and I know the normal me. Everybody who knows the normal me likes that, Brian. So it'd be my freedom I'd be worried about. What's one thing you can never explain to somebody who has never been through what you've experienced? What you can never explain, like that's the thing. Nobody will ever understand. Just like nobody will ever understand what rock bottom is. Everybody's rock bottom is going to be different. But to me, I think rock bottom is rock bottom. I think rock bottom is when you don't have nothing. Like you're literally nothing. You ain't got a house. You ain't got a car. You have nowhere to lay your head. You have no money in your pocket. To me, that is what rock bottom is. That's my rock bottom, which to me, when somebody says rock bottom, that's what I think. That's what pops in my head when somebody says rock bottom. It's me thinking, so that means they're down like low. But I've heard people say, well, we're at the rock bottom. And that's because they got their light bill went up $50 and they can't pay that little 50. You know what I mean? Like little things that thinking, man, you don't know what rock bottom is. Like people out there who still have a vehicle, even being at rock bottom and having a vehicle, you're still above anybody's rock bottom who's actually at rock bottom. I mean, when I say I've been to rock bottom, I mean rock bottom. So you'll never be able to make somebody understand that because everybody else's rock bottom is different than yours. But to me, the term rock bottom means when you're down and you have absolutely nothing and no one. And I don't mean exaggerating the words nothing. I mean literally you have nothing. So to me, that's what rock bottom is, and that's what you'll never be able to get somebody to understand that. No, and it changes you as a person. If you've ever hit the rock bottom I've hit, it changes you as a person because you so much stuff that other people in life get stressed out about, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the end of the world. I can only put 50 in my gas tank and not 75 and fill it up." Like that type of shit right there, that kills me because it's like that's your biggest worry. Well, you got it made then. You know what I mean? Like you ain't out on rock bottom. You're struggling. No, you ain't struggling. Like it kills me, but you'll never be able to get somebody to understand it, and it does. It makes you a better person. Every time I've hit rock bottom 2 to 3 times in my life. Let's see, I just hit it not too long ago. I hit it when I was on the run from the police for 5 years. I hit it when I lived in the woods. So I've hit rock bottom 3 times for sure. When I'm talking about rock bottom, I mean I lost my wife, kids, house, no vehicle, nothing. So nobody will ever, you can never explain something to somebody if they've never been there. Like you try to tell people who think they're having a rough, look, man, you ain't got a rough. You actually got a good, dude. It's no big deal. You can't fill your tank up. You can only put 3/4 of a tank in instead of filling it up. It's not the end of the world. There's people out there who got it way worse than you. And once you hit that rock bottom, you realize that. Like to me, money's never been nothing to me. I don't care about money because I've never had it. So if you ain't never had something, you can't care about it. So when I get money, I have no problem handing it out. If somebody needs it, here you go. You need $15, and it's gonna change your whole day, maybe your whole week. Yeah, take it. I got 16. Here's 15 for you. That's just the way I am. But you'll never get anybody to understand it. They have to go through it to actually understand it. They got to experience it to know. What happens mentally when you've spent years believing you have nothing left to lose? Well, I spent 5 years thinking that. And what happens mentally? is you don't plan for long term. You just wake up and plan for the day. And then you gotta still have a backup plan for the day. I always had a backup plan for the backup plan. That's how I live still. I don't know why. It's just instilled in me. I've always been that way. Even when I was married, I would hide money in my wallet and just act like it wasn't there. Hide it in a little compartment and forget about it because I always had to have a backup plan for the backup plan. So I would have another backup plan in place of that money in case we needed to pay a bill or something popped up. It was money that I had the backup plan for. But if that didn't work, I had another backup plan. I had things I could go sell in an emergency if I needed to. So I always had a backup plan for a backup plan. And when you spend your life running, and the question was, what happens mentally? Well, mentally, you're always trying to think of the scenario ahead of time, and you only want to live day by day, maybe hour by hour, to be honest with you, depending on what's going on. But mentally, it'll exhaust you. It exhausted me. Like, I wouldn't say physically exhausted or nothing like that. It's like mentally, it drains you because you got to watch everything and everybody. You can't trust nobody. I don't care who you think you can trust. You better double check and reevaluate the whole situation if you think you can trust people. Because when shit hits the fan, that's when you find out who you can trust. I'll tell you that right now. Because I found out the hard way. Like I have everything in life. I've always found out shit the hard way. And I'll tell you right now, somebody you think you can trust, they might just disappoint you when that time comes because it's happened many times to me. So that's why I never planned to count on nobody. There ain't a day goes by that I count on somebody. Like, yeah, especially when I had my own family. We didn't count on nothing but us. That's it. That's how it's going to be because I ain't going to get it disappointed. It's in my control now. So if something goes wrong, it's on me. I'm not going to take somebody's word for it that they're going to watch our kids. Nope. Because if you don't come through, that's going to mess up our whole day. It's going to mess up our whole job. Nope. Just plan for yourself and yourself only because that's the only person that you can count on at the end of the day. That's the only person you know is going to come through for you is you. So mentally, it just drains you. Like, it got to the point, like I said, I ran for 5 years. I could have kept running. I could probably still be free today if I hadn't went and turned myself in. It just got so mentally exhausting watching the grimy people around you and your own fucking brother trying to turn your ass in. It's like, man, I ain't giving you the joy of it. I'm going to go turn myself in. Fuck you. You ain't getting that joy. So, yeah, it'll drain you mentally. It'll make you paranoid because you don't, and it's not really, I wouldn't say it's paranoid. It's just being eyes wide open, you know? It's called being fucking aware of your surroundings is what it is. It ain't being paranoid because paranoid is something that might not happen. Being aware of your surroundings means I know you're a grimy, sneaky motherfucker behind my back, so I better watch you. I'll play cool around you, but I ain't giving you no more information than I need to give you. So yeah, you gotta watch that. So when you live like you ain't got nothing left to lose, it's gonna drain you. And you're going to live careless and reckless is what you're going to do for other people. I know who I am as a man. I know what I am. So I'm not one of them who needs praise and attention from people. Like that's 90% of the people I've ever ran across. They always want praise or they got to be validated by a stranger. That don't mean shit to them. They care more about what a stranger thinks than the motherfucker who's sitting there giving up everything for them people. For example, when I was married, my wife would give up all of her time and attention for work and shit. Like, and it was a piddly ass job. Didn't even pay for our daycare. So it was like, fuck that. You can quit. Just be a stay at home mom. I'll pay the bills. Fuck all that shit. But yeah, it's just the question was, did being on the run ever make you feel alone in normal life? Did no, because I don't have a problem being alone. And when I was on the run, I was around people. I was around all the drug houses. I was around all the drug addicts. And so I was never alone. I stayed high. I stayed fucked up. And that was it. I went to work, stayed fucked up. Went to work, fucked up, stayed fucked up. You know, just always ready for if I ever got stopped by a cop, you know. I always had a little extra, I always carried backup pills. Okay. So for example, if I'm walking down the road, I always have my fun pills in one pocket, and then I got my stash stashed up over here in this little slit I cut in my fucking pants to where if I go to jail, I can sneak something in. Or if I'm about to get arrested and I know it, I can go ahead and pop them motherfuckers and at least go fucked up. So, but No, it never made me feel alone, more alone than normal life did. Normal life has made me feel more alone many of times than being on a run ever has. And I'll get into that in another video. But for now, guys, hit that comment, subscribe, subscribe. If everybody who sees this subscribes, I'll reach my goal. And I'm thinking about once I get to 1,000 subscribers doing a giveaway. But I'll get into that on another video. Till next time, see you.